Hey everybody, it is TorontoUnicorn here to talk to you about something called Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Sometimes it goes by the acronym DADT. This is some part of open relationship slash polyamory slash I'm not quite monogamous slash what the fuck, how do you do this? This is a style of engaging in the ethical non-monogamy lifestyle that I wanted to explain, because some people give it a bad rap, like it's coercion, or if you engage in something like don't ask, don't tell, it is not ethical, and I actually disagree, and I want to talk about it. First of all, what the fuck is it? Don't ask, don't tell is a form of having an ethical non-monogamous relationship with somebody without actually needing or wanting to know about it. Like I am all about, logically accepting an ethical non-monogamy lifestyle. Logically, I get it. It makes sense. Emotionally, the implementation of non-monogamy is still hurtful for me. It still causes jealousy. It still causes challenges and anxiety. And that doesn't mean I'm not cut out for ethical non-monogamy. It means I'm having some fucking turbulence getting onboarded to it. But what I've learned is don't ask, don't tell can be helpful. It can be good, because what that does is it stops you from triggering people all the fucking time with details that can be upsetting. Even if they don't want to be upset about it, doesn't mean they're not going to have an internal reaction with maybe feeling like less worthy or, not good enough to fulfill everything for you every time you tell them you went and had some fun with someone else. So logically, if somebody can accept and consent that their partner should and is allowed to go and do things outside of the relationship with other people, relationships, casual sex, whatever, then they can agree that that's going to happen, but without disclosing it to one another. I think this actually works better if you're not good at the, jealousy shit, because you stop triggering yourself every time you picture them, your guy or your girl out on a date with someone else, especially if they told you what they ate and what restaurant they were. The next time you walk by the restaurant, you're like, oh yeah, that's the place. Like, you don't need to be haunted if you're not yet in the compersion of enjoying other people's joy with other people. If you aren't there yet, and maybe you don't plan to ever get there, then there's a couple alternatives. One of them is to sit in your anxiety and uncomfortableness, knowing what's going on. And the other one is, well, you could also exit the relationship if it's not compatible. But then you could also just say to your partner, you know what? I know you're going to have this life outside of me. I understand, but in order for me to feel comfortable in this relationship, I don't want to hear the ins and outs of it. And that's a fair deal. So I'm actually engaged in a similar policy right now with somebody, because I actually don't want to ever hear about his experience in the bedroom with another woman without me. I don't want to hear about it. Yeah, I'm a swinger in theory. Like I enjoy watching my partners with other women. But that's different than having your partner go and fuck someone else without you. That's different than your partner going and making love to somebody without you. So I'm not really ready for this, but if I still consent logically, I need a way to grasp it emotionally. And that is me not picturing him doing those things, right? That is me not sitting at home wondering if that's the moment they're doing this crazy thing. I have a don't ask, don't tell policy that basically protects me from getting upset or having these things be up triggering moments, so that I don't hear about it at all. And so I have an agreement with the guy I'm seeing right now that he doesn't tell me a single detail about that. And he has been great at that. He has not told me. I have been fucking happy. And I got less triggered along the way. So don't ask, don't tell is similar. If you want to look at it from another perspective, think about a relationship or a marriage where they have a don't ask, don't tell policy about their finances. Meaning, yeah, they might have agreements about what they owe for the contribution of the household, rent, groceries, whatever. But outside of that, the agreement is that what you have is yours. Do with it what you want, and you don't need to disclose what you spend your money on. That's a very similar analogy to don't ask, don't tell, but with sex and things like that. It's just like, I know you have this, part of you, and I know you're using it, but I don't need to know how. I just need you to come home to me and make this relationship a priority when you're with me. That's kind of what I've learned also about Don't Ask, Don't Tell is it's all fun and games until your partner comes back and then is distracted with one of the don't ask, don't tell things. And I'm just like, fuck off. Like, can you not just be present with me? Be present with me. Do your don't ask, don't tell shit outside of my date time, and we're all good. So I just wanted to say, some people have concerns that it's unethical, meaning some people might inform their partner that they're going to be going and having sex with other people, even if their partner doesn't agree to it. They're not leaving that person. So like, what is that that's kind of a gray area. But the truth is, consent is informed consent. You literally know what's happening. If you don't exit a situation, in a way, you are consenting that this is happening. So if you want to find a way to stomach that, if you're having a hard time, then stop asking questions about it. It is just as much the responsibility of the person who doesn't want to hear the details to not fucking ask. That's the don't ask part of don't ask, don't tell. It is just as much our responsibility to be like, oh, like if they were out, you don't say like, so where were you? What were you doing? Like, don't put them on the spot. Having said that, there should be no dishonesty. There should be no lying. That's not an effective or ethical way to do this. So you need a strategy. If you are going to be provoked into either asking or answering questions that are part of something that will upset your partner, and you've made that arrangement, instead of lying, come up with something that is an agreement that you will say that the other person understands is code for don't go any deeper. And that could be, I'm going to be with a friend, or one of my favorites is I'm going to be in the lifestyle that night. I'm going to be in the lifestyle activities that night. That's just some high level way of saying, I'm going to do my thing. You ain't going to know about it. And we're going to get together tomorrow and have coffee like nothing happened. Anyway, that's my implementation. I'm sure there's a lot of different opinions and even different implementations of don't ask, don't tell. I will put a cautionary tale though. There's a lot of people out there who might think this is a good idea or a good way to have an affair, and it's not. It would make you very uncool if you lied to people that you were in a consensual not ask, like don't ask, don't tell. If you weren't, that's cheating, that's lying. That is not even, you can't even dress that up in don't ask, don't tell. You're just cheating. I gotta say, just be careful. If someone says to you, oh, I fuck other people, but my wife lets me, but she doesn't know. Really, like, how do you know that, right? So maybe partners need to like exchange something that's like, agreement. We're in this ethical non-monogamy lifestyle, and like 2 like profile pictures with like a signature. I don't know. I'm just coming up with something. But I do think be careful out there. Don't just take people at their fucking word if they're like, oh, I'm allowed, but don't tell anyone. Just be careful. Make sure that person is an ethical, honest person, and that this is part of their ethical implementation of non-monogamy. And some people want to be poly or whatever, but they don't physically or they don't emotionally want to be. They might logically accept that be more realistic for somebody or somebody in their life, but emotionally they're holding on to this different idea, right? And I've done this for about 2 years now, like experimenting with this world. And I've learned that I am not naturally built for polyamory. Absolutely not. I've looked, I've studied, I respect it. It's not for me. I don't want a lifestyle necessarily in the future, long term, that is multiple relationships at the same time. Having said that, sometimes life throws you situations where you can be adaptive and you can explore non-monogamy at a time in your life, even without committing to it. So I think that's kind of where I feel comfortable right now, is exploring my non-monogamy, finding out how to make it more palatable emotionally for me. And that includes not hearing the details about things. And when my partner's with me, give me that fucking attention. I mean, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Give me the fucking attention when you're with me, or there's going to be a problem. Don't ask, don't tell is only as good as you are treating your partner. Make them not want to know. Make them not care. Because of how good they feel when they're with you. Whatever you're doing out there is working. How about that? Because the truth is, what I do like about non-monogamy is it does help some people fulfill certain things in their hearts or in their lifestyle that they really just can't compromise on. And I like that non-monogamy is a lifestyle that you can dip your toe in, you can dip your leg in, you can kind of try it on for size. And it doesn't mean you're making a lifestyle change forever. Maybe you're just giving it a shot. So if you're gonna give it a shot, explore all the different options. Open relationships is just, on the continuum towards polyamory. Swinging is on there too. I think there's actually some good graphics on all of these different types of non-monogamy. I think I'll try to put a clip on the screen. It'll be small text, but that's the best I can do for now. But yeah, there's a lot to explore here, and I'm no expert, except I'm a trooper on the ground getting real world experience reporting back. I'm like monogamish girl, trying out poly and reporting back. Anybody know how to deal with this shit? Anyone know how to deal with this jealousy? Like, it's new for me. And that's why this content I'm making, I'm really chewing on these topics. I'm really trying to understand these topics before I bring them to you. So I remember a memory where I had a guy that I liked, and I should have engaged in don't ask, don't tell, but instead he told me details. And I got jealous. And I remember he said that he was at a Blue Jays game with his girlfriend. And I was like, okay. Anyways, I go downtown, and I'm in Toronto, and that was the Blue Jay game in town, so that was where he was. But I had to go downtown, and everywhere I looked, I saw boy, girl, Blue Jays jerseys, cutesy on a date. Everywhere I went, like they were fucking haunting me, because it was a flood of people going to the Jays game, and a lot of them were guys and girls on dates. So I was like triggered. Oh my God, he's on a date with that girl right now. Don't ask, don't tell is like a band-aid that you put over the top of that. That's like, it's fine, everything's fine, because we logically can consent to something doesn't mean we don't have a strong emotional reaction. Our feelings definitely are our own to own and to manage. And so some of that is exploring ways to cope. And I like don't ask, don't tell. So if you've experienced this part of non-monogamy, have any advice or wisdom, drop it in a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. I always fucking forget to say that shit. And I really do need you guys to support my channel that way. So yeah, check out my links, TorontoUnicorn.com. I've got so much more to show you.